Hi guys, Sarah the Northwoods Stitcher. I have so much to show you and I do have a list, but I don't know how well I can keep to my list today. It is just, a bomb has gone off in this craft room. I have lots to show you from a great visit I had. I'm drinking water out of my wine glass, by the way. I always do that. Some people have decided that it's white wine, but it's water. I had a friend come up from Virginia to visit, Campbell, and she is Cam Echo is Stitching on her YouTube channel, so check her out. We did not do any filming together because we were too busy hunting and gathering and going picking and finding great little shops to go into and some scary shops that are kind of dusty and moldy and lots of hand sanitizer, but we found some great treasures and I sent her home with bulging bags because she found a lot of great treasures. Of course, we went to my dump, so we found stuff at the dump. We found stuff everywhere we went. So I've got lots to show you. I've got some finishes. I've got some starts. I've got some hopeful things. I've got my phone dinging. Hold on a second. I also just got back this morning from a trip to my local orchard where I ordered 3 dozen apple cider donuts. I'll put a picture in here. And of course, we got an apple pie. My husband came and looked at the apple pie and went, ooh, so that was fun. So we came home with apple crisp apples and an apple pie and 3 dozen apple cider donuts because I like to freeze them. I put them in my deep freeze in different size packages because there's nothing more decadent than a snowstorm in February. I've got my orange tea, I'm watching the snow fall, and oh, I can have a donut. So I will defrost a little donut and it's nice and warm and oh, it's just perfect. So there's nothing wrong with me freezing 3 dozen donuts. It does look kind of funny though and on the screen when you see how many there are. And I have a lot of different screen things to put up, so the editing on this video is going to take forever. I hope you enjoy it though. I should say that the places that we went, my friend Cam was only here for 2 days because on the other days she was traveling. So we went to a couple of stores like Rennie's, which is a department store, some brick and mortar, I should say, a Maine Adventure. It's like the Maine's 5 and 10. So we found some treasures in there. I'm trying to think of what I found in there that was, oh, my blueberry hand soap, which I was so excited about. It's 99 cents a bottle. I love it. And then we went to, of course, Martin's. I should have bought it when I saw it at Martin's. And she got a Bothy Threads cross-stitch kit for like $6.99. I don't have a picture of it. But you just have to go to these kinds of places because you don't know what they're going to carry. It's a surplus store. So sometimes you can find some amazing things. I found a Thea Governor kit in there one day. And then I took her to Hussey's General Store, and their motto is, if we don't have it, you don't need it. Because you can go in there, it's 3 floors, this general store, and it has bridal gowns, shotguns, and fishing boots. I mean, everything you could possibly dream of is under one roof. And it's a grocery store as well. So it's just sensory overload. I took her to the mill, where we went picking through some of their yard sale stuff where it's a donation. And I found some frames and other goodies there. We went to Belfast just to travel through the town, show her some picturesque places. And that's where we hit a Goodwill. We went to 2 different Goodwills. We went to Elmer's Barn, which is an antique kind of mall, kitschy, catch-all, different stalls for different vendors. And some stalls were 20% off, some were 50% off, some were 75% off. I got a couple of great things there, including some cross stitches. And I've got lots to show you. So I think I touched on all the places we went. Let me talk about some stitchy stuff before I show you all the goodies that I've acquired. In my recent short video, I was talking about making some counting pins, or as I call them, knit picks. And I have been doing some shopping on Amazon to see what other things you can get besides the boutonniere pins that I showed you with a little ball at the end. Easy to thread. I looked up corsage pins, and I got some really interesting combinations. I have some with pearls on the end now. And I've got some with almost like a diamond head. I better pull these out. We can't see them. But I'm going to try to make some counting pins with these. This is an interesting little container. Of course, it's taped very, very well. In lots of places. Yeah, a couple places. So check this beautiful corsage pin out. It's got a little diamond head to it. I want to say this is about 2.5 inches, maybe 2 inches. So it's a smaller pin, but it would definitely make an elegant counting pin or knit picker. So that's really pretty. So I bought, they call these floral pins, but I did find them under corsage pins. I want to say this is 100, but I don't know. The count isn't on the box. I'm not looking it up right now. And then the other one, this is 150 in this box. I know it was less than $10. These are much longer, and they have a pearl at the end. So I want to say these are definitely a 2.5 to 3 inch. Not the best metal, but I think it'll be fine for what I want it for. So that is going to be fun to play with. I did not get any beads this trip. I know there was a place that was selling some bead collections on Facebook Marketplace, but I decided not to do that. Let's see, what else could I do? Oh, and I did finish. I wanted to show you my finish. If you recall, I did a tiny, tiny cross stitch. So I did 1 over 1 on a 28 count Lugana. This is a plum pudding needle art. I showed this quite a while back, and I had this sitting in my pile of things to finish. I finally finished them. And what I'd like to do is to pull up the photos on my phone and talk about how I went about finishing them. Because I did do this in stages. I thought I would make a video, but I just started getting busy making them. So the first thing I did was I pulled out a size of fabric that I thought I would like to make into a pillow. And I knew that I wanted all of my pillows a little bit different because there were 4 stitches in all. So once I decided how I was going to make one, and you can see one in the background there that was my model, I stitched the actual cross stitch to the front of one of the panels of fabric. And it was just a loose stitch. This is all hand stitched because I'm not using my sewing machine yet. But after I stitched it, then I stitched the edges of the fabric all the way around and went ahead and turned it inside out. And what I mean by that is I cut a hole and flipped it inside out so it was right side. And then when I cover that hole, I just whip stitch the hole shut, and I put a little piece of fabric or felt in this case right over it. Now this is very dark, but you can just make out SK in the year that I did it. Once I finished that, I glued that felt to the hole or where my little incision is. And then I shredded the edges of the cross stitch. So this is stitched on there. Then I decided it needed some trim, and what I did was I actually just glued the trim on. I initially thought I would stitch it, but I thought, why not just glue it? It's not like it's going to be handled very much. And then I put a little pin on the front that says 2024. So that's one finish. Here's a better picture of the back. So you can see I just I don't really know how to embroider, but I just did a single stitch to do my initials and the year. And then when I put that piece of felt through the dye machine, it leaves little holes on the edges. So I stitched the holes and then glued it down. So it looks like it's sewn on, but it's not actually sewn on. And then this photo is a picture of 3 near completion. And this is all of them. So I can show you them here as well. So I'm really pleased with how they came out. They're very sturdy and durable. I did add a few of those little poly pellets to them. I'm not very good at using them yet because I'm having to fill a hole, which is kind of tricky when you're trying to use poly pellets. But there are a few with poly pellets in them, but with the band of ribbon around the base, it does help them sit up straighter by themselves. They'll be cute in a dough bowl, but just adorable. I'm really pleased with how they came out. So that's 2, and then I have 2 larger ones. It's got candy canes, and I shredded the edges. And then on the back of this one, I have a bigger heart. I didn't bother putting my initials on this one because they all go together. I did do my initials on the back of the other 3. So I'm really excited to have these for my dough bowl and tier display. I don't know why I finished these before I finished my acorns, because I'm in the acorn season, but that'll be next on the list of things to finish. So that was a quick, easy finish to do a hand-sewn pillow. And I hope you guys are motivated to do a few finishes, but that was fun to do. Let's see, what else have I got? So those were those pictures. I wanted to look up, I'm gonna do it right now. So I have finished kitting up completely my summer Quaker because this is the month. So September 22nd, I'm going to be starting summer Quaker. I know some of you have already started it, so it'd be great if you can motivate me and maybe we can send pictures back and forth. I would love to see your progress on it. I know some of us have picked it up and probably put it down, but I'm really anxious to do this. Somebody recently told me, and I'm very grateful, to look up the summer Quaker correction because there is a spacing issue in the summer Quaker. So I did just look it up, and the summer Quaker was corrected on March 27th of this year. It says the spacing between the seaweed leaf border, so I think it's around here, along the 110 and 120, along the 217 graph, so I think it was this side. It was charted as 5 spaces in between, but has been changed to 4 to be consistent with the others in the border. I don't know how much of a difference that's going to make, and I haven't pulled the chart to look. So let me read the paragraph. The spacing between the seaweed leaf border has been fixed to have an equal spacing along 110 to 120 along the 217 graph. It was charted as 5 spaces in between, but has been changed to 4 spaces to be consistent with the others on the border. See PDF attachment below for your use. If you have stitched as has been charted, it does not really affect the design. So if you're really pedantic about your spacing, you would pay attention to this. I don't know if it would really affect the outcome of your design. So I don't know if I'll print this out, but if you go on to lilastudio.com, there is a button to click for news and corrections, and that's where it's mentioned if you guys are interested in looking at that. So maybe you see it, maybe you don't, but I'm really excited to be starting this. And I've got all of my threads. I probably need to bobbinate. I sometimes don't. I just start pulling off the skein. So I should put that in a pile of things to go back downstairs. Very excited to have that though. So that was a correction I wanted to talk about. Oh, I'm on the wrong page. I also wanted to show you that I did finish. I told you about our kitten's accident swallowing a needle and thread. And I said I was going to make a framed piece so it was in my face all the time to remind me how fast things can go very wrong. So I have made this to sit in front of my stitching chair. It hangs on the wall. I'm probably going to put it in the living room, but it might go in the hall. So that's a picture of his x-ray. And this happened when he was 4 months. And that is the needle and the thread. I for some reason really felt the urge to have the reminder. It was just such a horrific event, and we're so grateful he's okay. But it's a reminder things can go very wrong in our little stitching world with our fur babies. He has healed very nicely, and I'm very grateful for that. And I've been getting a lot of wonderful suggestions from people how to get over my fear of stitching around a kitten. I wanted to share what I'm doing. I mean, I think I told you I'm hiding my threads down in my bra without a needle if I'm stitching a thread. But I also would like to hear from you guys. How do you set up your stitchy spot? And what kind of things do you have around you to feel organized and make yourself more productive? This has been my go-to right now. I'm using this. It's an eyeglass case that has one of these metal clasps in it. And I usually just keep my magnet clips in them to travel with. But right now, I am keeping my highlighter, my scissors, and my magnet clips, and occasionally a little thing of needles. So it's been very useful to have either at my side in between the chair of my arm, the arm of my chair and my leg, or on my stitchy table, which right now is quite cleaned off because he's knocked things off and broken things. So I can't have my little glass treasures up there. So if you guys have any great ideas for maintaining your space with little fur babies, let me know. I've never really had a problem before until we've gotten a kitten. But it is working out quite well this way. I have so much to show you guys. Let me start with my pile. I don't need to show you those until I make them. I got this great frame, and for the life of me, I don't remember where I picked it up. Never mind the inside, but look at the finish on this frame. It's in great shape. I want to say I got this at a Goodwill, but I'm not quite sure. I can really see a prairie schooler in this, but I love this shape. It's an 8x10. It is put in with staples, which I will pull out, but since it's a wood frame, I do have those metal, whatever they're called, to press in and keep the base put in quite well. So I'll refurbish that. At the dump, before I had visitors, I found some really great frames for free. They're very dirty though. So this is a table topper frame. I could probably take it apart, but it's quite good as a base, and I can put it with the other one I found. So I thought these were great shapes for smaller stitches. I don't see how I can get in the back of the frame, but I thought a front mount would do well in this. I will take off the rusting metal piece, which is supposed to look antiqued. I didn't care for that. So those are great to have in my stash. And then I found some really odd things. Screened, framed pieces. Wonderful old frames. I can take off the wire hangers, but I'll definitely reuse those. This was a dump trip, mind you, so it's all free, and if I don't want it, I'll just bring it back. I found some zippers still in their package. so much stuff. It was great. I found this at a Goodwill. I had to rescue it. So this was $3. I love it. It's in wonderful shape. It is not dated, but there is initials. And it looks like GLC. It was done on a 14 count. And I think I'll take it up to camp because I really enjoy it. It's a great frame. It's got a wire backing. It's just lovely. I need to wash it. The frame's a little bit dusty. The glass is definitely dirty, but nothing that Windex won't fix in a quick cleanup. I got this at a place called Elmer's Barn. This was $5. I'm so excited about this one. Now, it's got some problems, markings on the fabric there. And I want to say there was another spot, but maybe there's a tiny mark here. So I might reframe this. There's a bit of a seam too, but who doesn't want an apple crisp recipe? The frame is a little dinged up, but for $5, it was a great rescue. Now this was done in '85. I cannot make out the initials. There is just no way to see. It might be an M as in M&M's and an R, but I don't know. But it was definitely done in 1985. The frame is cracking here. But what a sweet stitch. Does anybody recognize this pattern and where it might have come from? I don't. But when I saw it, I had to have it. Another rescue. If I can get it out okay. This was also at Elmer's, and I want to say this one was, I can't remember, $4? I don't know. I don't recall. But isn't that sweet? And it's a little Hummel. Or Himmel. This was 1984. Initials are LK. The frame is adorable. The stitch is adorable. I love it. I had to rescue it. The frame was professionally done in Northport, Alabama at Pick-A-Frame Incorporated. Badly aged in the back, and the rubber bumpers are sticky for some reason. So I don't know if it was exposed to a high heat or not. There's nothing wrong with the stitch under the glass. Such a sweet stitch. I should be careful with those sticky things. I found these at the dump, and I don't need to show them, I guess, but they are quilt patterns. They keep popping up at my dump house. So what I like to do is to bring them to a free table at some of my stitch groups and see if anybody's interested in rehoming them, because they're awfully sweet little patterns. And it doesn't look like they're too dated, but if nobody wants them, I can bring them back. It's just my way of trying to rehome something that might end up in a dumpster. So it's always fun to pick stuff up like that. I found, where did I find this? I don't recall. I found a gold leaf. These were really popular in the 80s. Oh, I got this at a consignment shop off of Route 1 in Belfast. This was $1. Now this is dipped in a, I think it's 24 karat gold. and it had a little smudge on this edge of the leaf. I'm going to take a toothbrush to it very gently with some hot water and see if I can clean it up. I like hanging these in the window. I have a couple of others, but for $1, I had to bring it home and adopt it. I found this at Elmer's. So a cute basket to have when I'm picking things outside in the garden, or just to house some things. It's got a rubber hose as a handle. Very useful. All right, magic of editing. I had a phone call, had some lunch, had a nice chat with my sister, and back to show you more. I have a big collection here. So this I found at the dump, and I think there's a lot of possibilities with it. I don't know what that is. It's a bulb. It does take batteries. I haven't played with it. It was in 2 pieces. I think I will spray paint it black or maybe red, and I'm going to put either a figurine in here or make some sort of display, because I just loved how it's going to look on a tabletop. And I have seen people who have stitched and put Prairie Schooler cross stitches behind the glass, which would also be cute. So maybe I'll do something like that. We'll see what happens. That's going to be a fun thing to play with. Bit of a project because it needs to be repaired. I have also started stitching. This is a Stacy Nash Primitives. I love this collection. Now, I think they've done different things like a scissor fob and a pin cushion or needle book, but I finished stitching this guy. It's on an unknown fabric. This looks like an even weave to me because the holes were pretty big. But I do like the size of him, and I think I'm probably going to add him to the top of one of my baskets that has a lid, and I probably has a wooden handle and a leather strap to put the lid on. So stay tuned for the placement of this guy. Does his eyeball show up? There it is. And what I'm working on now downstairs is the anchor. So I'm excited about working on this. This is called Nantucket Sewing Set by Stacy Nash Primitives. But great little charts in here for that. I thought I would use all of the called fors, but I think I'm going to be substituting some out, especially in the anchor stitch, so I can see the rope a little bit better. Hopefully I'll remember to write down the colors. I got some fun mail. I bought a Bent Creek. You've seen this on some other floss tubes. This is called Begin. Isn't that cute? A journey of 1,000 miles must begin with a single step. I got this on 123stitch.com, and it does come with the tiny little snowflake buttons. Hopefully I can get this up soon. But aren't those cute? Maybe they're flowers. I think they're supposed to represent snowflakes. So Bent Creek Begin. Haven't decided what size count fabric I'll do it on. But I think there's going to be something peaceful about stitching a bunch of trees. And I do have my Prairie Schooler acorns on the side here. I'm not going to show them because I do need to work on those. What else did I get? I got a bunch of chocolate molds, just because it looked like fun. And they were $1 each. I got this fantastic lighthouse box. So this will be a great addition to my collection of boxes for packaging gifts in. So if it fits, it'll go under the tree or it'll go to a birthday. Another little gift box. A ceramic tree ornament to paint. This little guy was too cute to leave behind. He needs a nose. And this is a very clean little gift box to put something in, possibly even a handmade ornament. I found these at a Goodwill. These are little Baby Yoda, what is his name? Grogu? I don't remember. Anyway, they're little pins, hat pins, but I'm going to turn them into needle minders. One's missing because I gave one to Cam. She brought me some Scrabble piece letters. I found some fantastic garland that I'm going to change into Halloween cards. She brought me a cute ornament because she knows I love Santas. So I love that. And there's some mugs. Not worth showing. Oh, all right. A blueberry mug. The price was right. It's extremely clean. So I'm going to wash that up and probably make like a little gift pack with some blueberry tea in it and some honey, local honey. Now, I think that's about it of what's right by my hand. And I showed everything else, didn't I? I don't remember if I showed this. I don't know if I showed these. Hold on a second. I don't think I showed these. I honestly don't remember. So this is my Return of the Whales that I finished on a frame type piece. This was a piece of wood that had, I showed it in a previous video. It had a snowman and country life or something on it. I covered it with a handmade paper, which I decoupaged with some Mod Podge. I put that onto the front of the board, so that's stuck on there. It's a little shiny because it's a glossy finish. Then I mounted, this is Return of the Whales by Chessie and Me. I did this on a 14 count caramel. I was initially going to do this as a pillow, but I really like this board and wood look to it, and it's got a great little hanger on the back, so I think I will just keep it that way. But that was a fun stitch to do. I thought I showed these to you guys, but maybe I didn't. And then this was another board that said something about Christmas I picked up at Walmart. So this is my Cotton and Twine October 2023 design, and it's by the Historical Sampler Company. Looks like my pom-poms are a little uneven. I mounted the cross stitch on a piece of foam board. I did use pins. Then I taped the back of it with my acid-free surgical tape. I left a little bit of the board showing in the center of the back, so it's just taped down after it's been pinned. Then I mounted or glued in a piece of black, this is almost like a black heather or gray felt. Yeah, this shows up, the color shows up that way. I mounted that on the inside with some light glue. Then I glued this foam board piece onto that felt. And then I added some wooden buttons with just some Eileen's tacky glue and mounted these. I really liked how it came out. I did end up painting the edge red because I think it was just the same kind of color as the press board. It's not really wood. So I waited to paint that red and messed up along the sides and just sanded off the red. and used like a can of air to make sure all the dust was off of it. But it's awfully cute. Maybe I'll push these up a bit. And I think I just glued, I'm trying to remember. Yes, I just glued the pom-pom to the edge. So that's a cute finish. And then I tacked this thing in there. So this originally was a $5 piece from Walmart. Tree Lot wall decor. So I think this way it said something like Tree Lot. And it was on sale for half price after Christmas, and I picked it up. Now these are great because if I decide to make a two-sided one, I can flip it over, cover this, pop this out, and I'll have a table mount. But I think right for now, just hang it up for the Christmas season. But it's an awfully cute stitch. Unfortunately, I don't know much about the fabric color. It's a kit that comes from a club, and Soupy gave me that kit, so thank you. It's a really cute stitch. And then I have some shares. I'm also up here looking for a magazine because Cindy, who has stitched this pattern twice, she's got me on a hunt to go through my magazines. There is a Cross Stitch and Country Crafts January, February 89. I'll show a picture of the cover here. I know it's up in my collection somewhere in this bookcase. I have to find it. But she has stitched that pattern twice. And I just love it. It's a sampler and the tall ship. It's a schooner with a whale. And she's stitching it a third time now. So now I'm on the hunt for it. Hopefully I'll have some time to go through my magazines. I know I've seen it in my collection, so I have to find it. But all the way from 1989. I hope I have a good copy to stitch. That's definitely something I'm going to hunt for and kit up. And then, who else? Oh, so Lynn in Virginia sent me pictures of some cross stitches that she did. Now, she had some sweet little dogs. They've since passed, but when I don't know if she waited until after or when they were still alive, she stitched them. But in memory of them, she had their photographs sent off, and then the company made the cross-stitch charts and sent them back to her, and she was able to stitch up these beautiful pieces. And I think the little plaque has the name of the dog, and she had two of these sweet girls. So she made these beautiful, beautiful cross stitches. And then what she did was she took a bit of a poem and made a final poem memory thing, Waiting at the Door, it's called. She didn't want to do the whole poem, but she took bits and pieces of little graphs that she found and put together this sweet little poetic memory. Waiting at the door, I'll be waiting at the door with the little footprints and the Scotty dog and the little charm. And then it's so perfect because she got the frames. Now, she framed them herself, but she sent away for the frames at a place called pictureframes.com. And I love that she has all three together like that with all the same frame. It's just a lovely wall. What a great way to remember them. So I love the colors that she used. I love the matting. It's just perfect. And she put them all together herself. She says the patterns weren't difficult to do because I was wondering, I've never sent away a picture and gotten back a graph, but she says it wasn't bad because I said, well, how bad was the confetti stitching and how many colors? Was it like 250 colors? But she wrote back, the patterns were not difficult, but they are dense with not much confetti stitching. So that's not bad to do that. I might do that. So she found a place on Etsy that takes a photograph and converts it for you. So I'll have to find out a little bit more if anybody's interested in doing that. And she did this on a 14 count Picture This Plus Oracle was the shade. And there were only about 5 or 6 colors, mostly blacks and grays. So that's not bad. But what an adorable way to remember her Scotty girls. Very nice. So I wanted to share that because I thought that was just wonderful. I have a couple of photographs that I've thought about doing that, but then I don't know, I just can't do it yet. I'm not ready. My heart's still achy. And I do have a, what is it? I can't remember the brand. I've shown it before. It is of our cat Ellie. It seems like the perfect image. So it's a long-haired cat sitting in the sun, and it looks just like Ellie, and it's a full coverage. I do want to do that at some point. I don't need to send away a picture because it looks like our cat modeled for that cross stitch. And oh yes, and there's another one I wanted to show. I was so excited to get this. So Margaret sent me this. She finished her Happy Campers, and I just love this chart. I think I would change the top of where the beaver and the porcupine are roasting marshmallows. I want the porcupine to have longer quills, but this is such a cute finish. Now she did this on an 18 count Aida called Sand, and it really, really makes these colors pop. I love everything about this, and it's just incredible. She wrote to me, I think when she had like 40 stitches left, and I was like, oh, send me a picture. So she did. Now, this is Happy Campers by The Blue Flower. That's the name of the designer. I'm pretty sure you can get this on 123stitch.com, and a lot of the local needlework shops are still carrying this. But what a great color choice. Sand really made the whites and the blues and the greens pop. I just love it. And she remembered to sign it. So I think it's a great, great finish. And I'd love to see how she's going to frame it. So Margaret, when you do frame it, or if you're going to make a pillow, let me know. I think that would be fun to see that. So cute. Who else sent in something? Oh, yes. Where is it? I have to get mine out. We need to have a talk. I put it someplace special. It's my la-di-da. One moment. So, Sue in New Jersey framed her Miss Mary Mac, all dressed in black, black, black. And I'll show a picture, and it's just wonderful. Excuse the glare. It's really hard to take pictures, I know, but Sue did a great job. She got this frame from Michael's, but she did it herself. But she did hers on a 28 count Monaco. It's either an ivory or an off-white. She couldn't remember. 2 threads over 2 and all 310. Now I had done mine. Now this is a la-di-da stitch too. La-di-da Miss Mary Mac is the name of this chart. So I had pulled mine out. Let's see if I can do it without a glare. And I did mine on Picture This Plus Cyprium on 28 count 2 over 2 with 310. So it was really cool to see hers. And I have it's like a shadow box. So I put some silver buttons, just kind of hard to see on camera, all on the base of that. But it was really cool to have her picture, and I like her background actually, because this one's a little too orangey, but it really came out nice. So it was fun to see somebody else's. Anybody who's interested in doing Miss Mary Mac, it's just a fun stitch. You'll enjoy doing it. The hair's fun, the words are fun, the border maybe not so much, but it was really a great thing to get finished and have framed. So it'll be nice to have out in my fall stuff. This is just a fall color, so I thought I would put it out in the fall. And hopefully Sue's got hers hanging up. And then, who else sent something? Oh, I have to email Pam back about the name of the kitties. I have one kitty up here. Pam wanted to know who the designer was for both of the kitties that I picked out. This one course, now that I want to find it. Okay, the Witchy Stitcher. Now, the Witchy Stitcher did Hello Kitty Surprise. The Witchy Stitcher. I don't remember where I put my other one. I'll find it, Pam, and I'll email you, but I don't remember. I decided I wasn't going to do another cat right away, so I put it someplace. And then I had a friend over, and now the craft room's like, I'll find it. But the Witchy Stitcher is the one who did this fantastic one. The picture does not do it justice. It's just brilliant colors. So the other one's a different magazine. And what else? Oh, and then I have to tell you, the funniest thing happened. I think it was like within a day of each other. I had 2 Darlenes email me at the same time. So I thought, wait a minute, is that the same person? No. So I have a Darlene R is the last initial and a Darlene G. So Darlene R, she was the one who was giving me some headers and important tips and places I should go shopping to improve my stitchy area. And it's been helpful. And she wanted to know too, what are people's must-haves in their little stitchy spot? So what does make you more productive in your area? What are your little tools and tricks that you've used to have a happy stitchy spot? But Darlene G from Texas, I don't know where Darlene R is from. Now she says that she wants to stitch the pumpkin man from the keepsake calendar. And I don't, do I have a picture? I don't have a picture. All right, I'm going to have to pull it out because it was uncanny when she said that. I said, that sounds familiar. So when she said pumpkin man from the keepsake calendar, I thought, which one? Do you remember what year? And sure enough, it's the one that I've pulled out that I want to do. So this is from Keepsake Calendar 2019. Isn't that fantastic? And I have a frame that I want to put them in. I'm ready. So maybe I'll do this instead of the cat as a Halloween stitch. But I don't know if she's starting hers. So I have to email her back again and find out when she's starting it. Should I start mine? Because I've got the summer Quaker. So there's all these ideas flying around in my head right now, but it's such a great stitch. Isn't that spooky? And I'm pretty sure, I mean, the pattern is over there, but I'm pretty sure that's going to fit this frame, and that's why I bought this frame. This frame, it's a plastic frame made in Italy. I'm pretty sure I bought this off of an Etsy site. So that would be exciting if we kit it up at the same time. I know she'll get hers done before I do. But it was just fun to hear. Maybe she saw it in a previous video and that's what drew her to it. But it's fun to think that somebody else is stitching it at the same time I'm stitching it. So that would be a good incentive for me to start doing that. That would be fun. Oh, and then Patty sent, I had shown the lighthouse. This one. She finished it already. So she sent that. So here's hers. There's a little bit of a glare on it, but I absolutely love it. Now she did hers on a fiber on a whim fabric called Pistachio. And she used a thrifted frame. It's actually like a shadow box, but it's perfect for this because I think it gave it some, I don't know, some dimension or depth when she framed it this way. So I love that she used a used frame, and it looks like it's in pristine condition. And what a great fabric choice because it really made the whites pop. So now I'm all motivated to get mine kitted up. I have the whale color is called Cauldron, and I think that is Classic Colorworks. So I did pick up the whale color. And I think I'll probably just use the DMCs for this. Now, I don't think Patty mentioned if she used the called for threads, but I'll have to look at her email again. And maybe I'll do a floss toss and see how big it's going to be, because I think this will be a pretty quick stitch. Once I finish my little anchor downstairs and do some more work on Great White Christmas by Boomerang Stitches. I've got a couple things on the go right now. But I'm in this mood where I want to kit everything up, and I'm a little concerned about it because I don't know what kind of progress I'll do on my works if I get too excited. But I loved getting all those emails and seeing the finishes and seeing how people frame things and knowing that people have similar interests. It was just motivating to get all that information. So what else? Oh, a frame. There's always something. So I found this at, it's the mill, and one half of this mill has a place where people donate items for sale, and you make a donation of what you want to pay for something, so nothing's priced. And then the other half of the mill is an actual yard sale, but the same kind of rules apply, so I don't know why it's divided that way. But this was a great little frame. I'm not going to use the mat board in there. I don't think that's a true mat board. But what's great about this is it's a standalone. I need to goog on it. That's a sticker. Or you can hang it. So that's a little tab to hang it by. Now I don't know if you remember, I did a partridge, maybe 4 little partridges. It's supposed to be a bell pull, but I love the skinny little frame, and I might be framing it in that. I haven't pulled it out to see if it fits, but I don't know. Maybe I paid $1 for it. Good stuff. And then I found a cute little, whoa, almost dropped my Miss Mary Mac on the floor. Found a cute little purse for $2. It's a 31 bag. Fall's coming. So I thought that would look cute with some things. I think that's everything, you guys. But that was kind of a lot of stuff. All right, I'll show you the other thing I got. I found these on Amazon. I had to have them. I have to open them though, or you're not going to be able to see them. I bought some wooden mushrooms. Ugh. All right, that's better. I want to say there's 50 in here. My word. 36 pieces. But look at all these cute little mushrooms. I don't know. I did paint a bunch. I don't know if I showed them to you in an earlier video that I made into little ornaments. But I just thought they were cute. I can paint them purple with white dots or red. I can drill a hole in the top and put a little eye hook to hang them as ornaments, or they can sit on a tabletop. They just looked really cute, and I had to have them, probably because I felt like painting something. But they're all different. So I searched wooden mushrooms on Amazon, and that's what I came up with. So I might have to start an assembly line. This is my pattern. I start making more projects for myself during times when I don't need to make more projects, but I'm excited about the little mushrooms. Oh, that's another thing I found at the dump. These were so cute. So it's really like a little carnival glass votive holder. So it had a used candle in it that I was able to get out. was a messy job. And it's really clean on the inside now. It doesn't look like it ever had a candle in it. But I thought, what a cute thing to put my counting pins in. If they don't fall on the floor or anything on my sewing table. I also found this cute little thing, which also would look really pretty. I like the colors too for the fall, so I can change out things when I do get to have my stitchy table back, because right now it's empty. But I do like to decorate my stitchy table with different little things like this because they're pretty. And to find something in absolute perfect condition, there's not a single crack or chip in this. What a cute little thing to have. Some of you are probably going, oh, that's hideous. But I love it. So that was fun to find. And I think that's about it, you guys. I just had a lot to show you. And I have a lot of stitchy plans. And I can't thank you enough for sharing and taking the time to send me pictures. And if I have asked you for close-ups and you know who you are, please try to take some close-up pictures. I won't name names in case it's difficult, but you know who you are if you showed me your wall with all your cross-winged collection framed on the wall, but you did it from far away, so I can't see the cross stitches. It was like getting a piece of candy that I can't have. I mean, I want to see the birds up close, and I know they're bird stitches because it's crosswing collection, and there are so many of them. There's at least 6 on the wall. Do what you can, and I'll be happy. Or get somebody else to take the pictures and send them. I would love to share them. Anyway, that's enough of guilting somebody. Thank you so much again for watching. And I hope you guys are having a great week and have great stitching time and be safe.
We've done that in the past, the seniors, and, okay. And so here they are, they're done, and she'll sew them. Then we have, labels